आत्मसंयमयोगो नाम षष्ठोऽध्यायः।
सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Good evening. Welcome back. We will continue the discussion on chapter 6. We have reached an interesting position with verse 36. Basically, we completed the topic. The 5 topics we were trying to cover as part of the Dhyana Yoga or Atma Samyama Yoga is over. But the chapter is not at over. Another 11 verses is there. So it's a deviation. It's a question by Arjuna. It's a relevant question. A lot of people may have that question. Relatively simple topic. It's a matter of faith. So we can cover more verses today. The topics we have covered so far, which we will recap when we do the recap of the entire chapter. I think we're getting a lot of noise. If you're not speaking, you can go on mute. Okay. Sorry about that. So the topics we covered in this chapter is, what are the general practices one need to follow in the path of meditation? That is the lifestyle one need to follow if you want to succeed in meditation. Second topic we covered was, what are all the specific preparation one need to take for engaging in meditation? What exactly is the process of meditation? Revolutionary verses, or like the verses that gives you aha moments were given. What is meditation? Krishna's definition is very much different from what we thought as the meditation. We heard the different stages of meditation from starting from dharana, dhyana, samadhi, and once the samadhi is done, how that samadhi can be taken to the next level by following nididhyasana. We saw how the object of the meditation can be atmakara vritti, how one can get absorbed in that atmakara vritti. Once you get absorbed in that atmakara vritti, essentially you get atmanishta. By studying the Vedanta, you get Atma Jnana, but to convert that Atma Jnana to Atmanishta, you need that Nididhyasana. And then we paused with a question by Arjuna. What are some of the obstacles and what are the remedy? Krishna gave the exact same remedy used in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Abhyasa Vairagya. So with that, the chapter is over. Now, Arjuna had a question, and that's what we are going to see today. So we'll see from 37, 38, 39 are Arjuna's question. And then the rest of the chapter is Krishna's answers. So we'll see 6 verses today because these are relatively very simple verses. And by next week, we will be able to cover this chapter. So let's get started. So let's go to the first verse, which is verse 37. So Anu, could you please chant?
Yeah. Arjuna uvacha ayati shraddhayopeetaha yogat chalitamanasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim krishna gacchati.
So we are getting into the final topic, which is the sixth topic, which is not directly related with meditation. But that's a natural question to most of us. Very interesting question. So let's try to understand. Arjuna asks, yoga chalita manasaha. Second line. That is, we'll start from that. Yoga chalita manasaha means the one who deviated from the path of yoga. The one whose mind means one who has not fully succeeded in yoga. The mind has wandered. Yoga chalita means moved away. Manasaha means mind, or even the person. The person who has moved away from the path of yoga. Why? Because ayati shraddhayo petu. This is very interesting usage by Arjuna. How? Why? Because of ayati. Ayati means because of the alpa prayatna. That is the exact meaning. So alpa prayatna means because of the lack of effort. So shraddhayo petu. Even though he has faith, shraddha means faith. So a person who has a lot of faith, who is believing in yoga, who is convinced by this spiritual path, he put effort, but not good enough. And he has not reached the final goal. Aprapya yoga samsiddhim. So he put a lot of effort. Each one of us, we all believe in this. We are putting some effort, but by the end of our life, that may not be good enough to get the yoga samsiddhim, the ultimate destination of the yoga, which is the moksha or the self-realization. Arjuna's question is, Kam gatim Krishna gacchati. What happens to that person? Interesting question. See, you wanted to commit to the spiritual path. That means you are leaving some of the material pleasures and whatever you can do. And you put effort, but that may not be sufficient to reach the moksha, because out of the million people trying for moksha, only few people get it. So what happens to that person after, what is going to happen after, once he dies? What is going to happen? Very interesting question. And the word used is very interesting word, yoga prashtaha, the one who is fallen from the path of yoga. So that's the one. Yoga chalita manasaha, fallen from yoga. Why? Because of ayati. Ayati means atpa prayatnaha, means insufficient effort. Or because of the obstacles in his life. What could be the obstacles? Adi bhaudika, from the name, means from the external objects, or external outside people, and the name, everything. Adi Devika, from the nature, and Adhyatmika, from himself. Lot of things can put a break into his path. See, right now you and I can sit and study. What happens if we have a health issue? We may not be able to dedicate this much time for the study. What if we are struggling to meet both ends? I don't have time to sit and study. So there are so many factors, legitimate and illegitimate, which can block my study. So even though I want to reach the destination, there is a probability that I may not reach the destination. What happens to such people? This is big doubt, especially when you follow these Western tradition. Like it's like a binary, heaven or hell. You may not have done enough work to reach the heaven. What is going to happen to such person? That's a big, big concern. What is going to happen? Arjuna is afraid. I am not enjoying this life, hoping that I will get the moksha. I may not get moksha, so my life here is also wasted. My other life is also wasted. Is that a risk? If that is the risk, how do I mitigate? So, what will be the next stage in his progression? This is the simple question. Let's try to see what is Krishna's answer. So let's see. Sorry, the question is not over. Let's see. Anu, could you please stand?
Yeah. Kachinno bhaya vibhrashtaha chinna bhramiva nashyati apratishto mahabaho vimudho brahmanah pathi.
Very interesting question. Kaschinno upaya prashta. So you have to break the word, right? Upaya means both. Prashta means fallen down. See, upaya means both. So when you chant, it will appear as kaschinno upaya, but it is kaschinna upaya prashta. Upaya means both. Both means what? I lose the worldly fun. I don't get the spiritual result. So question, that person, upayas prashta, is he going to lose everything? The worldly life as well as the spiritual life. And Arjuna uses a beautiful example. He chills. So he uses a word, chinna. This is a beautiful word, right? First one is upaya viprashtaha, out of both the path. Then chinna apa pram eva nashyati. So chinna apram means here apaha plus pram. Apaha means water, bram means holder of water. Holder of water here means clouds. So Arjuna said, is it like a small cloud in the sky? Chin means, what happens to the small cloud in the sky? It will get destroyed. So he tells, like a small cloud in the sky, drifting in the sky, is it just got lost without any aim, right? Then he tell apratishto mahabahu. Apratishto means, pratishtaha means established. Apratishtaha means not established, not get hooked into. Apratishto mahabahu vimudha brahmana patihi, right? So from the path of Brahman, from the path of Brahman means from the spiritual path. Apratishto, not get established. Is that person going to be not getting properly established in the path of yoga or the path of Brahma? Is he going to lose both the pleasure, the worldly pleasure, as well as the contentment he gains from moksha? And is he going to like a small drifting crowd wandering here and there? And vimudho, deluded person, he is not, fully realized, or that deluded person who has faith, who is putting some effort, but not good enough to reach the higher. So he had made some progress, but he has not the full progress. In other words, right? So if you really look at the spiritual path, you have the karma yoga, you have the upasana yoga. After that, you have to follow the shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Let's say that you got a relatively stable mind and a pure mind. At that time, your lifespan ended. You haven't got the moksha yet. So what happened? He put a lot of effort, probably the entire lifetime, to gain that stability and purity of the mind, is that going to be a total waste? Very genuine question. So Arjuna continues. Let's listen to verse 39.
एतन्मे संशयं कृष्ण छेत्तुमर्हस्य शेषतः त्वदन्यः संशयस्यास्य छेत्ता न ह्युपपद्यते.
Very interesting way of putting it. Arjuna again tells, Yetat samshayam means this doubt of mine. O Krishna, chetum arhasi asheshadaha. Please remove this doubt of mine completely, because otherwise it is going to be a problem. And then he tells, in this whole world, there is only one person who can clarify this doubt. That is you. This is very interesting because he tells, Todanya samshayasyasya chetan ahya anupadyade. So he tells, Tod anya cheta nahi upapadyade. This is the whole Sandhi Vicheda. So without you, there is nobody in this world who can remove this doubt completely. Why? What he is asking is not something that an ordinary mortal can explain. See, he is asking what happens after death. You and I cannot answer. So Arjuna is considering here Krishna as somebody who is not an ordinary person. Only Bhagavan can answer this. So that is why if anybody can answer this question, that is you. And for us, Shankara jumps in and say, this is a matter of faith. What Krishna is going to answer here cannot be proven, cannot be disproven. And we have to consider this as a matter of faith. And what is the rule in Vedanta? Faith cannot be completely against logic, and the faith has to be beneficial to us. If somebody say to believe something which is not beneficial to me or the society, that is not a valid thing. So Arjuna here giving full faith to Krishna, because whatever he is going to say, it will be the beneficial for the whole world. And we also need to put our logic and see what Krishna is going to say makes sense. So in 3 verses, he asked the question. What was that question? Very, very simple. Arjuna's doubt is, yes, you have taught me the Karma Yoga, you have taught me the Upasana Yoga, and you said with Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, after that you follow the Jnana Yoga. He clearly said there is no doubt you are going to get this moksha. Arjuna said, I believe you. I feel that this is logic. But what if I cannot reach that state? The net result is I will lose the fun here. I will lose the fun there also. So let's see what Krishna answers. So now you see why we are able to navigate quickly. This chapter is very relatively easy. Sorry, I'm sorry. 39. No, 40. Right.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Parthanaiveha namutra vinashastasya vidyade nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati.
Krishna first assures all of us. Nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. The one who does good. This is a very powerful verse. The one who does good, he will never end up. Ultimately, he will never end up in problem. He will never perish. If you follow dharma, if you follow good deeds, you will never perish. Let me pause here and tell you a story also. So somebody who is a very, very good devotee of the God came to me and asked me this question very, very recently. It was a very genuine question. She is a big devotee of God. She does puja, she does all these type of rituals, Sahasranama, etc. And after studying Vedanta, what happened? Yes, earlier, all the time she attends these classes and studying Vedanta, that time she used to do chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. Nothing but Vishnu Sahasranama. So now she had a doubt. What is the doubt? If I had continued the Vishnu Sahasranama, I would have get the blessings of the God. Now, if I don't reach this moksha, what is going to happen? The question was, am I going to get the same punya as that of Vishnu Sahasranama if I sit and study Gita? A lot of people have this doubt. Here in these verses, Krishna answers that. He tells, this is very interesting. So let's try to go to this topic a little bit more. Shro, the basic thing Krishna here is saying that Partha, see, it tells Tasya Vinashya na vidyate ihava or amutraha. So Vinasha na vidyate ihava or amutraha. So he tells there is no problem or no, means the person who does this kalyanakrit, doing the good deed, he doesn't have any vinasha. He will not perish. Neither here, that is what is iha. And then he tells amutraha. Naiveha amutraha. Partha naiva iha amutra. That is what. Amutra means the other world. Iha means this world. So this world means this life. Amutra means post-life. So the first thing Krishna assured is Partha, O the son of Prithu, Partha, O son of Prithu, na iva va amutra. That means neither here nor after death. Vinasha na vidyate. So to the person who is doing this good deeds, he doesn't have any issues, neither here nor after life. And then he tells, Kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tadagashyati. So the one who does good deed, he will never get ruined. Very powerful statement. So Partha na iva na nahi amutraha. That is number one. A person who is doing the Vedanta Shravana, Vedanta Manana, Vedanta Nidithyasana, he will never perish. Shankaracharya in his commentary, the one who seeks the Brahma Vidya, the one who performs Yoga Shastra, it is as good as any other thing you do, any other spiritual practice do. So Madhusudana Saraswati, another great Vedantic teacher, he tells the Shravana of one, let's say that a little bit of Vedanta is equal to hundreds of japa. So don't think that this is inferior. It is as good as you do a charity. It is as good as you do a ritual or a puja. Vedanta Shravana is Kalyanakrit. It is indeed a good deed. Remember, in the Panchamahayajna, one yajna is Brahma Yajna. Brahma Yajna is as good as Deva Yajna. Brahma Yajna is as good as Bhuta Yajna. Brahma Yajna is as good as Manushya Yajna. Brahma Yajna is as good as Prithvi Yajna. So if you do this Brahma Yajna, don't think that I didn't pray, I used my prayer time to do that. Of course you need to pray. But you don't need to pray 24/7. If you take some time and study this, nothing is going to happen. Krishna tells very categorically that Vedanta Shravanam is as good as prayer, and it is going to yield you a lot of punya. Two types of benefits the Vedanta Shravanam, Mananam, Nidityasanam is going to give you. Vedanta Shravanam, Yoga Phyasam, both are going to give you two types of benefits. One is Brishta Phala and Adrishta Phala, and there is a worldly Phala and there is a spiritual Phala. Remember, in the Upanishad also we studied the Ihaloka Phala and the Paraloka Phala, and then material benefit and spiritual benefit. So the Drishta Phala of Vedanta, Shravana, Manan, Vedanta and Yoga is you get a pure mind, you get a clean mind, and your health will be good, your emotional state will be good, you will feel good. All that is immediate results. But what about the unseen result? You will earn punya. You will earn punya karma, and eventually you will reach moksha. So, very important point. Now, doing good deeds earns punya karma. How do I prove? No way. Now, doing good karma is going to yield me punya karma. It's a matter of belief. Now the question is it logical? Of course it is logical. Punya means if you do good deeds, you will get good karma. If you do bad karma actions, you will get bad karma. That's very logical. Of course, I cannot prove it. So from a logical perspective, this is not against logic. Now the next question is what? Is that beneficial? Doing good karma is going to give me good credit. If everybody believes that, what is going to happen? Or at least if I believe what is going to happen, I will start doing good karma. Is that beneficial for me? What else is more beneficial? So this is beneficial. This is not against logic. So we can take it. That is the matter of belief. So once again, please note that this is Krishna is saying that don't worry, even if whatever you do, it can yield good karma. Let me pause here. One more point. What does that mean when Krishna said don't worry? There are two possible results you can get if you follow this path. Best case, or the best case is what? You get moksha. The effort you put, because of that, you gain moksha. Thereafterwards, you are not cared about punya, papa, everything. You got the ultimate state. That is the best result. In case you don't get moksha, it's not that you don't get anything. What else you get? You are going to get visible results in your life. You will get a good heart, good mind, stable mind, and apart from that, you will earn punya. So at least you will get that much. So don't worry. So he's going to say next. Let's see.
Prapya punyakritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga bhrashto bhijayate.
Yeah, he tells Prapya punya kritan lokan, having gained the world, Lokan. Lokan means worlds. Punya kritan. So what happens? Here the Arjuna's question was what? Yoga prashta. So Krishna is not going to take the case of the person gaining moksha. In case if you don't gain moksha, Krishna tells there are two probabilities depending upon your vasanas or depending upon your mental composure, you will get two types of the results. 41 is going to give one path, 42 is going to give another path. So the first path, he tells, prapya punya kritan lokan. So you didn't get moksha, but what else you got? You gained punya. And because of that punya, what happens? You will gain those experiences or those type of life. What? A person who gain punya gets. So if you believe in Purana, what they say, if you gain too much punya, what is going to happen? You will go to another world of experience called heaven. And once the punya exhausts, you come back. This is the difference between the Hindu Purana and the Christian and Islamic Purana, Islamic mythology. Per the Hindu mythology, what happens? You do good karma. If you have a lot of good karma, what happens? It is like sending you to Switzerland or sending you to Hawaii. You go there, you will have a lot of good, meaning pleasurable experience. And once the punya exhausts, you come back. So Krishna didn't say heaven or anything like that. He said, whatever the experience a person who does punya karma gains, you will gain that experience. And then what happens? So it's like you can interpret it as heavenly world, or you get a better life experience next time. And then he tells what? Then he tells verse 41. Okay. He tells prapya punya kritan lokan. Then he tells shashwati samaha. He tells once how long you are going to gain that experience. How long you get that experience is shashwati samaha. For a long period of time. Shashwata means permanent. Shashwati samaha means like permanent. So a long lifespan. For a long lifespan, you are going to get that type of experience. And then what happens? Once that punya exhausts, what happens? Shuchinam shrimatam gehe. Yoga prashta apijayate. Apijayate means reborn. You will reborn into a house. What type of house? What type of family or what type of circumstances you will gain? Shuchinam. Shuchinam, clean is the literal meaning, but the implied meaning is a conducive environment. An environment conducive for spiritual practice. A dharmic environment. Because let's say that if you get into an adharmic environment, of course people can turn around like Vatmiki, but if you born into a dharmic family, let's say that the parents and the friends you get exposed to all are into this path, naturally there will be a encouragement for you to follow that. So Shuchinam Shrimatam. Shrimatam means it is a prosperous, because if you struggle for money also, that's a problem. Of course, those who do not have money, they can also come up. But Krishna tells like you will be born into a dharmic and prosperous family. You will reborn. So don't worry, you can continue your study from where you left. So this is again a matter of faith. Krishna is just giving the assurance that even if you don't gain moksha, this is not going to be a problem. So as per the matter of belief, like if you do good deeds, naturally you get the next life will be good. So here Krishna is just trying to imply that the deeds of studying the Vedanta is as good as any other good deed. So this is the assurance. So what if that is not the case? If you are an intense practitioner, if you are a little bit more intense practitioner, what would be the case? Let's see that.
Shall I chant for?
Yeah, please.
अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम्.
Athava yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimadam. So the second scenario, if you are a little bit more intense practitioner, what is going to happen? You may born into the family of the yogis itself. And then what is going to happen? Kule bhavati shrimatan. You will reborn into the family of a dhimata. Dhimata means you will born into the family of wise yogis. So even the probability is high. And Krishna tells, very nicely he tells, Edatti durlabhataram loke janmani yadi dridam. It is very difficult for anybody to get such a life. So, or you may born into a family, you will be lucky to get associated with such great teachers who will be able to guide you. Shankaracharya in his commentary just elaborates that a little bit more. See, I believe in this because I don't think there is no matter. Each one of us, I can vouch for myself. The circumstances I born, how much exposure our parents or our immediate relatives got into this teaching, I would not have got any exposure. But the karma, right? Sometimes it connects you with the right people. It connects you with great masters. I was exposed to one of the best teachers in the world. That too, not in India. Usually you think that you get exposed to these teachers in India. So I was lucky to meet a lot of teachers, a lot of like-minded people, how this connection happens, everything. God only knows. There is no logic sometimes. And sometimes certain circumstances will be in front of you. So each one of us, I believe, because look at each one of you, you are spending your evening, and a lot of you spend 3 hours with me and you all study. How that interest came to me. When I say me, it includes each one of you. How this interest came to each one of you. It's very, very, very unique. So something you might have done in the past. So that is how Krishna explains. Now he will conclude a little bit more. It's not good, more than 6 verses to cover. That's why I'm stopping here. These verses are simple verses. We can scan through these. It's not like complicated verses like Nidithyasanam or Atmakara Vritti or complicated meditation. This is a matter of faith. You just need to talk. And but this gives an assurance to each one of us that Krishna is very much telling us that this study is as good as anything else. So you may think that, oh, I didn't earn my punya because I didn't chant my Vishnu Sahasranama. Of course, Vishnu Sahasranama has its own benefit. You need to chant. But if you think that you used your prayer time in Vedanta, Shravanam, Mananam, Nidithyasanam, that is also equally good. By no means I'm saying that prayer is bad. We all need prayer. If you cannot pray a long time, you need at least 2 minutes. If you do that sincere prayer, that is good. But this study, it's very powerful. It can give you much more results, much more benefit in all parts of your life. So next week, we will be able to finish the next 5 verses. Again, very simple verses. We can scan through that quickly. It's a matter of faith. What Krishna is again assuring is that don't think that the Vedanta study, it's not binary, neither here nor here. In Purana, you call Trishangu, right? Trishangu Surga. Neither have not here nor there. It's not like that. You will be, whatever in second chapter also Krishna tells, right? In praise of yoga, he tells, Nehapikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahado maya. Even if you practice a little bit, that much benefits you get. It's not that you have to do full, or else he gives example, right? Nehapikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate. So there are 2 problems in some of the karmas. One is apikrama. One is you have to follow the sequence. If you follow that sequence, it will be a problem. So agriculture. If you change the sequence, the whole thing will ruin. And then the completeness. What is that? If you take antibiotic, if you break in between, what is going to happen? Sometimes opposite results will come. So they say in rituals, both these are there. In conventional Vedic rituals, if you don't follow the sequence, that's a problem. And the pratyavaya is something that if you don't complete it properly, if you start a ritual, you don't finish it properly, that's, they say, like, it is opposite effect. So none of that problem is here in this teaching. Whatever you learn, it will benefit you. Okay, so we'll do the closing prayer and then we can have Q&A for the next 15 minutes. Bhuanaji, appreciate if you can do the closing prayer.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha